Welcome to This Time Out with Marcus Ekure. I have with me on set the person of Comrade Benjamin Amioku. He's a politician, a social activist, and a businessman. You contested for election recently. What year was that?
That was 2017.
Oh, 2017, not so recent. Under which platform?
The All Progressive
The
Congress.
All Progressive Congress, which is the APC, as a local government chairmanship aspirant. Is it candidate?
No, aspirant.
Aspirants.
Yeah,
Fine.
Yeah.
Great. Now, we want to share your thoughts on the current political situation of this country today. There seems to be a whole lot happening right now. The atmosphere is a bit tensed up, and a whole lot of people, seem to give their various views to the Nigerian situation today. At the burning point, we have a problem of insecurity, which is quite becoming overwhelming on us as a people. We also have the challenge of, some say infrastructural decay. You have bad roads everywhere. You have infrastructural deficit. And people have been giving names to these various problems. In your own way, how would you summarize the problem of this country?
Nigerian problem is multifaceted. It's a manifest of poor political leadership and absence of patriotism to a very large extent. So these are the issues.
Please, if I may take you on your word, patriotism, absence of patriotism. Can you throw a little light? What do you mean by that?
Meaning that people put self-interest first before national interest.
Okay.
Period. So people take the national opportunities to serve for self-aggrandizement rather than for nation building. These are the challenges. That is why Nigeria finds itself where it is today.
Okay. Now, in the light, a lot of people are particularly worried that, in the light of 2023, that there seems to be just one man who appears to be the hope, for tomorrow, for this country, and that if we get it wrong, that may just be the end of this country. And that's the person of Dr. Peter Obi. Is he a doctor?
Yeah.
Dr. Peter Obi, who is the candidate of the Labour Party. Some people seem to believe that once we get it wrong with him, that if he doesn't emerge as the president of this country, that may just be the end for this country. Do you share that viewpoint?
Not absolutely. Nigeria will always survive, but the difference is that when we want to talk about phenomenal growth and progress, we must get competence to drive the political leadership of this country. And Peter Obi stands to become that kind of candidate by virtue of his background, his educational background, his character, and of course his qualifications. Also, given the fact that he has gotten some form of political experiences before now, there may be other candidates in some other parties, but they don't really have the political clout that Peter Obi has built over time. But in the absence of that, the two major political parties we have, who seem to be either it's going to be an option of APC or PDP, they've thrown up candidates that, for me, do not really have any business to contest for the president of this country. For crying out loud, this generation must take responsibility for its own progress and development. And if we must do that, Peter Obi remains the only political choice for us that will bring about the much needed transformational leadership we need in this country 2023 and beyond.
Okay, do you really have faith and belief in the transparency of 2023 election?
INEC has really done so much to ensure free, fair, and credible election. The onus lies on Nigerians to participate in the electoral process.
Okay.
One of the things that the challenges to election in this country is not even about the umpire, it's about the apathy on the part of elite Nigerians to participate in the electoral process. And if we effectively participate in the electoral process, there's no room for rigging. There is none. So I can assure that, I came up with an article. I'm trying to see how I can get it published, what I refer to as the elite tribe.
Elite what?
The elite tribe.
What's it all about?
The elite tribe is all about Nigerians who are educated enough to know that political leadership should be determined by competence and not cash. There are those Nigerians who are educated enough to know that character, educational qualification, and background should determine who should be a political leader, either as a councillor, a local government chairman, or a governor, or a legislator, as the case might be. These are people who, over time, have acquired knowledge, and they have acquired knowledge, but today they are not finding themselves in their field of endeavor because there are no opportunities. They have left what they were supposed to do as practice as their professional calling, and they have settled out from menial options just because they want to eke out a living. The elite tribe are those who are schooled enough to know that, or rather, who are victims of the failed political system. So, and they are from diverse ethnic backgrounds, they are from diverse religious backgrounds. They are not absolutely in the north, south, east, or west of this country. So, with this elite tribe, we should be able to redefine political leadership in this country to make sure that only the people with the right qualification and educational background are sent to political leadership in this country. And so, if we accumulate our numbers from all the ethnic nationalities in this country and the regional blocks in this country, we can get the critical mass to determine who becomes the president or the governor or the local government chairman or the legislator at any point in time.
Okay. Coming away from that, Mr. Benjamin or Comrade Benjamin, some people also share the view that the problem of Nigeria today is systemic, and that until we do a system reset, no matter the competence, no matter the personality who becomes the president of this country, bearing in mind the system of government we are practicing, which is the democratic system of government, which enshrines or gives priority attention to rule of law, and separation of power, that it is absolutely impossible for any person, no matter how good the person is, being the president of this country, to actually, create the kind of government or the kind of country we actually want, bearing in mind the legislature, the judiciary that are there to enchant the person if they don't align with the visionary, roadmap or leadership plan of the president. Do you agree with that? And what do you think is the way out of that?
I disagree in totality.
Okay.
Rather, I know for sure that there are provisions or there are rooms for improvement on the constitutional provisions of this country. But as it is today, if we have a transformational leader who has the competence and what it takes to lead this country, with the constitutional provision and the powers available to a president, he will transform Nigeria.
Now, you don't seem to get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What this school of thought is actually pointing at is the fact that for anything to sail through has to come through the two houses of the lawmaking houses, and before the president will have to accept to it to become law.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that the president might have a blueprint, might have a perfect and amazing roadmap politically, okay? But he needs the consent of the legislature for such a roadmap to work. Now, Peter Obi is just one man and coming under the platform of the Labour Party. Now, what about in a situation where, we don't have a whole lot of progressives who think and reason like Peter Obi, occupying the hallowed chambers, and at the end of the day, don't you think that might be a serious problem for him, and it might actually impede his expected performance at the end of the day?
It is a very clear fact that executive power has always been very powerful in this country.
Okay.
So that can never be a yardstick that can obstruct or prevent development. It is even a clear fact, it's a truism in this country over the years that the legislature has always been a kind of rubber stamp to the executive, because by the time you have a president that seems to be wish-haunted by the executive, by the legislature, he will always do all what he can to see that he brings them under subjection. Either at the federal level, we had the situation in the Fourth Republic, in the first tenure of Obasanjo, when he had problems with legislators, the leadership of the houses of either the Senate or the House of Assembly, he fought for change of the leadership of the House. Even when Nahaba has so much power even in the House of Rep. It ended up that in the second tenure of President Olusegun Obasanjo, nobody come back to the House of Reps. So it is not really the challenge. Rather, it is having a transformative leader who is passionate and patriotic enough to see that this country develops. But beyond that, like you said, he must have an amazing blueprint for the transformation of this country. What we've had over the years are transactional leaders, people who see government as a means for wealth creation for themselves and not for the people. So they see governance as, they see politics as means to an end and not good governance.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, in case you are following us on this program, you can make good use of the comment box there. You know, the question I'm asking Comrade Benjamin Amioku is, the Peter Obi we seem to portray or see as a hope for tomorrow. Do you think if he becomes the president with the same old politicians, majority of them being in the legislature, that's talking about the House of Rep and Senate, do you think this man can still achieve the desired result? That's the Nigeria of our dream that we are expecting through his leadership. Do you think that is possible? Please kindly use the comment box as we continue on this program. Then if you are just joining us, I'm still with Comrade Benjamin Amioku on This Time Out with Marcus Ikure, talking on critical issues, interrogating deeper issues, surrounding this country. Now, Comrade Benjamin Amioku, now, if you were the president of Nigeria, because there's this saying that talk is cheap, and the Nigerians were very good at talking. We talk and talk and talk, but no action. Now, let's come to you. If you were the president of Nigeria, what would you do differently that has been done so far in this country?
We will adopt pragmatic approach to transform this country. I, as an individual, will adopt a pragmatic approach to transform this country. And one thing remains very clear. Transforming a nation is not rocket science, like I've always said. Is to have a development agenda and follow it up diligently. And I believe technology has given provisions to challenge security